You're a true soul. You can't die. Please, stay with us.
I don't think he's conscious. Can you hear us, Ed?
You, not a step closer.
A strange symbol glows marked on their flesh, and something within you stirs in response.
He's wounded. I'd like to help if you'll let me.
He's hurt badly. An owlbear got him deep. If there's anything you can do...
I'm watching you.
The injured man locks eyes with you. A familiar squirming churns in your head. Your minds intertwine. You see his siblings, Andric and Brenna, new recruits, yours to shepherd.
Protect them. He is a true soul. Mind him. He will... He...
Edwin! Ed! Please!
He's with the Absolute now. You're a true soul. Edwin, our brother, he was chosen. Like you. Do you have orders for us? We were reporting to Edwin.
Explain this Absolute to me.
What? Are you testing us? The Absolute is our goddess. She's going to rip down the old world order, start a new one. Then we'll be the ones with the power. Well, you will firstly, true soul. You don't need me to explain that.
A true soul, like you, has been chosen by the Absolute. You speak with her voice, and when the time comes, the true souls, you will rule.
Please. Any supposed new god would have an uphill battle.
You're mistaken. I'm no true soul.
What?
What are you doing? Your sword, brother! Now!
Strange power resonates within the corpse. It calls to you. Most corpses feel like toys before you, to be played with and discarded when you tire. This body seems different. A friend calls out from the corpse, desperate to be freed. Why let its host's memories go to waste? The tadpole has absorbed it all. Its experience could nourish you, strengthen you.
I know you're there. Show yourselves.
You spotted us. Good. It's like they say. No fun in skewering a pig what doesn't know he's cooked.
There'll be no skewering happening here. Now let me pass.
We got you surrounded. Here's how this goes. You take one step further, and we'll fill your front with arrows. Or you turn around, and your backside gets the same treatment.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Out of my way, or I'll cut you down first.
Hold up, lads. This one might be more than we bargained for. Go on, then. Just keep your nose clean.
Look what we got here. Another little birdie wanting to fly. Stop this thing! Flap those wings some more, and I'll feed you a worm. And you. Hope you got a stomach for heights.
What the hells are you doing?
What's it bloody look like? We're teaching this here pipsqueak to fly.
Release that gnome at once.
You want this little cave lurking what's it? Find your own. He's ours!
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
I consider the gnome under my protection. You don't want to fight me for him.
The goblin's nostrils flare, as if trying to judge you through smell alone.
We're leaving.
What about the gnome? Ain't we supposed to bring him to...
I said we're leaving! There's plenty of sport and rich pickings out there for us. Move it!
Cut me loose! Ugh. Bagakabara. There's pestilent thugs. Well, get on with it.
You seem a little confused.
You saved me, now you'll extort me. That's how this works, yes?
You owe me nothing.
Nothing?
I could extort you if that's what you want.
You're teasing me now. I'm certain of it. Take my pack, if you can find it. The only reason those goblins caught me was its weight. I'll travel lightly from now on.
You're a little far from home for a deep gnome.
Ignorance is alive and well, it seems. Deep gnomes aren't restricted to the Underdark, you know. I've lived in Baldur's Gate for years. I'm in search of a friend. I fear he's in trouble. See this? I gave it to him years ago before I left home. I found it around the neck of a thug in the lower city. It was speckled with blood. My friend, nowhere to be found. But I still have hope. I have reason to believe he's in the Underdark. Hopefully, I'll pick up his trail from there. I always help my friends. On that note, I bid thee farewell. If we should meet again, well, we will have met again.
Shadowheart's attention is fixed on a damaged old statue.
We should keep moving.
Another episode, why does this keep happening to you?
You already know as much as I do. Best ignore it. As long as it doesn't hamper us too much.
My, what manner of place is this? A path to redemption? Or a road to damnation? Hard to say, for your journey is just beginning.
What would suit the occasion? The words to a lullaby, perhaps. The mouse smiled brightly. It outfoxed the cat. Then down came the claw. And that? Love. Was that? They do know how to write them in Cormier, don't they? Well met. I am Raphael. Very much at your service.
It's not every day one meets such a cavalier sinner as yourself. A true, bloody pleasure.
Oh, you're familiar with my work?
I'm rather the admirer of the sanguine arts. Even if I wasn't quite born under a killing moon myself. Shall we withdraw? We have much to discuss, to our mutual satisfaction. This quaint little scene is decidedly too middle of nowhere for my tastes. Come. There, middle of somewhere.
Take me back, now!
And deny you the honor of my hospitality? This is the House of Hope, where the tired come to rest and the famished come to feed lavishly. Go on, partake, enjoy your supper. After all, it might just be your last.
What makes you say that?
Call it a ninth sense. What's better than a devil you don't know? A devil you do. Am I a friend? Potentially. An adversary? Conceivably. But a savior? That's for certain.
What makes you think I need saving?
Come now, why play hard to get when you're in deep over your tadpoled head? One skull, two tenants, and no solution in sight. I could fix it all, like that.
I serve an oath, not a devil. My honor is not for sale.
Everything is for sale. And you do well to sell while your stock has value. In desperate times, the price of honor plummets. Perhaps you haven't yet realized how desperate these times are. You will.
Try to cure yourself. Shop around. Beg, borrow, and steal. Exhaust every possibility until none are left. And when hope has been whittled down to the very marrow of despair, that's when you'll come knocking on my door. Hope. Such a tease.
I'll rip out your mocking tongue.
Ah, yes, the tongue. Yet another piece of pleasurable anatomy you'll soon have to do without. All those pretty little symptoms, sundering skin, dissolving guts, they haven't manifested yet, have they? One might say you're a paragon of luck. I'll be there when it runs out.
This devil, Raphael, flaunts his paltry wings as if he wants to impress us. You saw the red dragon slaying his infernal kin above hell's fires, did you not? Next to a dragon, the devil's a gnat. When I am Kithrak, I will take my Queen Vlaakith his head as a trophy.
Kithrak, what does that mean?
Githyanki Knights, the riders that chase the Nautiloid. They are the commissars and enforcers of my Queen Vlaakith's will. Vlaakith bestows no greater honor. To wield a Kithrak silver sword is my destiny. I will earn my Queen's favor, and I will conquer every layer of hell should she command it.
Why were these knights chasing the Mind Flayer ship?
The Geich are my kind's mortal enemy. It is not unusual for the Kithrak to give chase, to penetrate the hells. This is unusual. But I'm not one to question the wisdom of my queen. I can see but to the horizon. Vlaakith's sight pierces the many planes.
Bloody hells. Literally. Just when I think I've got a grasp on our dilemma, a devil shows up. No matter. We've dealt with every other oddity thrown at us lately. We can handle this one too. Now, as for this Raphael, he knows our secret. He claims he can help. What do you make of him?
He's a devil. We shouldn't trust him, simple as that.
No doubts at all. He seemed powerful and very knowledgeable about our problem. Not the worst prospect we've stumbled across. As long as you can look past what he is.
Enough about me. What do you think is best?
I'll tell you in due course. I just wanted to see how close we are in thinking, first of all.
I'm not going to change my mind. We can't trust Raphael.
Good. That's what I wanted to hear. I know people who work much like our new acquaintance does. You don't need a scourge or a rack to break people. Fear and self-doubt is sufficient. When actual pain comes, the victim's already done the heavy lifting for their torturer. There were no right answers with that devil. He was toying with his food. Us.
Who the hells are these people you know who do such things?
Cunning people. Private. And very dangerous at times. Perhaps you'll meet them one day. See? Sowing doubt is an old trick. Watch out for it. And for Raphael.
The Devil with the Silver Tongue. An old fairy tale my father read to me. The kind with a hero, a villain, and a moral. A farmer made a deal with the devil, so the story goes. In exchange for the farmer's dearest fruit, the devil granted him a bottomless coin purse. The farmer's dearest fruit, naturally, was no apple nor peach, but his beloved daughter. We can learn a lot from fairy tales, don't you think?
Spare me the parables. I've no intention of bargaining with the likes of him.
That's because you still have hope. But when he becomes your last hope, remember this. He'll require of you only what you're least ready to part with. And then require more still. You might think you'd give up anything for a cure. But the devil won't take just anything. He'll take everything.
Beautiful broken heap smells oddly enticing. You find you can't resist inhaling her offals. You hear what comes next before you see it. The sharp snapping of bones and a yelp of pain as her body starts to twist and undulate. You watch with cold realization. This isn't the end of one life, but the start of another. Her darling pups will not be of her own species. Gnolls bring forth their iniquitous litter from many corpsed wombs, including hyenas. Radiant power flows through you as you strike the creature down. Whatever horrific creature was growing inside the hyena dies along with her.
This won't be quick. That hyena's run off for help.
One horn, the stink of Avernus. Advocatus diaboli.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you.
Tell me, monster, what's it like to know you're about to die?
Touch me, and you'll regret it.
A great heat roars through you. Her heat, fiery as the hells. Then you're lost in visions of demonic armies as you tear through a landscape of fire and blood. The Blood War. You saw it from above as the Nautiloid passed through Avernus. This woman was on the front line.
What was that?
Evidence. Proof that you're a devil. A gladiator in the archdevil Zariel's army.
I can explain, but it's a whole situation. If you just hear me out...
Another vision. Karlach's blade raised, slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Her rage and desperation seep into you. She is a victim of the Blood War, not an agent of it.
She's trying to trick us. Don't believe her lies.
You saw the truth. I never wanted to serve Zariel. I was enlisted in her army against my will. Forced to fight, and fight I did. When I saw an opportunity to get away, I took it. Finally home. Or near it, anyway.
You served her. That's enough to damn you.
Stand down, Will. You saw what I saw.
You don't know what you're saying. You're asking me to trust a devil.
You saw her thoughts. She poses no danger to the Sword Coast.
You know monsters, right? Better than anyone. Look into my eyes. Can't you see I'm not what you think?
Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Oh, thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye. Truce.
I'm Karlach, but you already knew that. And you are...
I'm Zets.
Well met, soldier. Nice to meet a friendly around here. It's been tough going so far. I may not be a devil, but I can put the Blade's reputation to work. How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards? Little background if your moral compass needs something to point at. You already know I fought in the Blood War. I was good. Really good. It turns out I've got a knack for killing demons. That made me a valuable asset. Zariel, the archdevil herself, made me as her personal attack dog. I played along until I could get the fuck out of there. But devils don't like to lose their assets. Zariel liked it so little. She sent a bunch of goons, so-called paladins of Tyr, to take me back. Problem is, I'm not going.
So you want me to kill the people hunting you?
Don't worry, I'll lead the charge. But I could use your help. There's a lot of them and only one of me. After that, we can team up. Take Faerun by the short hairs. Sound good?
I like her. She looks like she could throw me over her shoulder and carry me to safety, should the need arise.
Let's do it.
Fuck yes! They cornered me outside the toll house just up the hill. Doubt they've gone far after the scorching I gave them. Whew. I'm getting all het up. Let's make tracks. So, Will, now that we've made peace, how about we get to know each other properly? What's your story?
Not so much a story as a pantomime. And I've played my part all too poorly.
What's that supposed to mean? Lay it out plainly, Will.
Go on. We're listening.
It means that a reckoning's coming. And I'll be the one to pay up.
You make it sound like a harvest of devils coming for your throat.
You're closer than you know. One night soon when we make camp, the veil will be lifted. and I'll face my penance.
Good then. I deserve answers.
And you'll have them. But I can't promise you'll like them.
Cut it out. It's worse than gnolls out there.
Nothing we need to worry about.
How about a dragon? Would that worry you?
I'd give it a bloody good fight, that's for sure.
Only thing you give a dragon is bad gas.
Please, no more. Leave us in peace, and we shall leave you in kind.
Cut the crap, Anders. I know what you are.
Don't let her hurt us. Please, we just want to go home.
You can drop the act. I know you're servants of Zariel.
Zariel? Certainly not. We serve Tyr, Lord of Justice, and no other. Please, mercy. Half of us are badly injured, the other half dead. I admit, we ambushed you. An assignment from our gods, Tyr. We thought you a devil, and with your flames you proved us right. But Tyr will not consign us to our death. He is merciful. Leave us, and we'll leave you.
Enough of this charade. I know who you really are.
Enough! Enough! I'll not play pretend anymore. Karlach, you're going home in pieces if needs must. And you'll soon learn what it means to ally yourself with the likes of this garbage.
Avernus was never my home. It was my prison. I'm free now. And I'm never going back! Go back. I'm never going back. And if any of Mummy's little friends want to pick up where the others left off, they'll find nothing but a pile of ash.
Easy, Karlach. Those flames are getting hot.
Not big enough. Now get out before you get hurt. Now! Had to let off a little steam after facing off with those ignots. Granted, the fire's lasting a little longer than it should. How do I look?
Like you should have melted a long time ago. How can you stand it?
Honey, I could go all night. Hear that? Infernal engine for a heart. Lets me burn as hot as the hells. Seems to be running in overdrive since I left Avernus. Won't be seeing my mechanic anytime soon, so I'll just make the most of the extra heat. Just don't get too close, till I've found a way to calm it down.
How the hells did you get an infernal engine for a heart?
High pain tolerance, and a dynamic duo of truly shitty bosses. But it's a bit early in the game to be getting into tragic backstories. Let's save the Scar show for later, after we've worked up an appetite for tragedy. Meanwhile, I'll need to find someone who can tune up my engine sooner rather than later. Believe me when I say this thing is hot. The first time I faced down those paladins, they let slip there was an infernal mechanic in the area. A tiefling. He might be able to stabilize things, if I can find him.
Wonder if they meant Dammon, a tiefling weaponsmith.
A weaponsmith, huh? Not sure if he's the guy, but I'd love to find out. A tune-up would do this rusty heart a world of good.
I'm so glad I found... Wait, it's me! It's Alfira, from the Grove.
Alfira, what are you doing out here?
I'm sorry for barging in like this, but I had to come find you. You've... well, inspired me. I want to stand on my own 2 feet, to prove that I can be half the bard my teacher was. I want to join you, to fight by your side. I want to help people, as you've helped me.
It's safer for you at the Grove.
True, but I'm a bard, remember? I want to do more than sing about other people's adventures. I want to make my own stories, and I can't think of anyone else I'd rather share that with.
You can stay, for now. Let's see how you fare.
Really? Oh, this is wonderful. I won't let you down. I promise.
Speak.
Are you sure a creche is our only path to a cure?
Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. Each creche contains a Zaithist purification device. So I learned from the writings in the Kalir Library. The library was a gift from Vlaakith herself, that we may gain total understanding.
Books are fallible, as are those who write them.
Not books, but slates. Wisdom so profound it is etched into stone. Truth as perfect as the queen who decreed it. Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond, observing the ways of our lessers, exploring planes so distant, order turns to chaos, and cold fires rage. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities.
My past is a mystery to me. Could the parasite have caused that?
Ceramorphosis takes all of you. Mind, body, soul. An ordinary tadpole would eat at your memories until they were lost to the void. But our tadpoles are far from ordinary. I wonder if another factor's in play.
I've had these urges. I want to kill. I want blood.
Many a good warrior savors the scent of blood in the air. There's no shame in a capricious murder now and again. Too many, though, and you waste energy and dull your weapon. My suggestion, attack with purpose and savor your kills. And if the urge proves too much, well, I'm sure we can find you a goblin or two to carve up.
All's well, I hope, aside from the obvious.
What's the story with that odd little artifact you have?
There's no story. None that you're entitled to hear, anyway. Just forget you ever saw it.
My memories are all gone. Is your tadpole playing tricks on yours?
I understand why you ask, but memory loss is not as uncommon as you'd think. There may be other causes.
We should get to know each other a little more.
Must we? No harm in a little mystery, don't you think?
We have to rely on each other. Easier if we knew each other as well.
Easier's often less interesting. Besides, we've plenty of reason to rely on each other already. You can't confide in just anyone about a monster in your head.
Maybe I'd like to get to know you better.
Sweet of you. But don't worry. I'm sure you'll get to know me just fine by traveling together. No need for interrogations just yet.
If that's what you prefer, I can respect that.
Thank you. I'm sure we'll get along perfectly well.
Well met.
Tell me, Will, how did you come to be the Blade of Frontiers?
My father once said, one does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call. So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse bled into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after.
What act could be finer than saving a life? You must have felt proud.
Proud? No. Angry. Angry at the monsters preying on innocents. Angry at the so-called good gods for tolerating the cruelty of the evil. Angry at myself that it took so long for me to see the coast suffering. The frontiers demanded a blade. And so I heeded.
Is that how you lost your eye? In the goblin battle?
It was an even bloodier day, and a stronger foe. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days.
What's the story?
Now that those paladins are out of your way, what's next on your agenda?
First things first, I need to get this engine tuned up. Thing's powerful, but it's been feeling volatile ever since I left the Hells. Can't be too hard to find an infernal mechanic round here, right?
How did you end up with such a contraption in your chest?
The year, 10 air. The place, a sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-knee delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell.
You mentioned a boss who gave you up to Zariel. Who was it?
Guy named Gortash. Politician. Inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job. A good job. With people I liked. Doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Oh, to feel so invincible again.
What does that infernal engine do to you?
Gives me energy. Power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close.
I wouldn't mind that myself. I've never been one for too much contact.
I'd trade you if I could. I miss it more than anything. But hey, that's life. Or so I'm told.
I can't wait to hit the road. Where will we go? Neverwinter? Oh, can we go to Waterdeep? Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's take it one note at a time, as my teacher would say.
You open your eyes with a lurch, and you are not in your bed. You stand above a body which is in a state of gore nearly beyond recognition. The body of that brave girl who earnestly swore to devote her life to your cause. Her blood covers you, and its warmth feels like the embrace of an old friend. You recall nothing of how you ended up here, but your head pounds and aches. There are dozens and dozens of wounds on the corpse. The killer did not stop savaging it, even when she was long gone. and your dominant arm aches. It aches from stabbing over and over. No matter how it appears, the body is there, and her blood is on your hands. The question flows through your mind. Who are you, really, that you could be guilty of such bitter business? Something wicked must have woken you. The contemptible pervert within must have lavished slash after slash upon the girl. But where, oh where could that monster have come from? If only you knew yourself better. You don't have much time for reflection now. You need to act. You may only have a few moments before the others awaken and begin to cast blame for the hot sin before you. Your misdeed is bright and clear as the dawning day.